Hi, I'm Julia and this isn't my shed. So we're back on the Sweet Pea today. So when I did the boiler test a couple of weeks ago, the timing wasn't quite right. It sounded quite uneven, so I'm guessing one side the timing is off and not matching the other side. And there was one point where the Loco, it's like a dead point where there was no power, so where the Loco would just stop, and then you just need, if it stopped in that position it wouldn't restart. Hopefully that makes sense. So the job today is to sort of see if we can assess what the problem is. So I think what I'm going to try and do is isolate each side. If I can come up with some sort of adapter. This is the steam inlet pipe, so if I can get some way of accessing that, so I can just run each cylinder one at a time and see how they run. And really, to test this I need to get it up onto a rolling road, because you have to have the full weight of the Loco on the wheels for this type of valve gear to work. So I'm not sure if you can see that the rear suspension right in the back through there, it's not really focusing, but the springs have actually got plastic sleeves around them, and that's to make the rear suspension very stiff, and because if suspension travel tends to affect the timing on basically because this distance is moving. So as you can see, at low pressure, low throttle openings, it sort of hesitates. So I think what that means is that one side isn't quite working as well as it should be. It does seem to be stalling at front dead centre. So is that a clue? I think I'll carry on. I'll see how each side runs individually, I think, and we'll take it from there. Okay, so I've removed the steam pipe from the left hand side, and what I'll do is I'll see if I can find a plug for this this thread, and yeah, that should mean I can just run the right hand side in isolation. I couldn't find a suitable plug, so here's me making one on the lathe. I sort of had two attempts at drilling it because I was only getting a couple of threads actually engaging, so we've gone for quite a deep plug in the end. Okay, so that's the blanking plug attached. It was a quarter 19 BSP thread on this particular Loco. Okay, so I've just run the right hand side in forward gear. It was a bit lumpy, but it did run. In reverse gear it wouldn't run at all, wouldn't start, wouldn't do anything. So I think I need to take the timing chest cover off this side now and have a look at the timing for the right hand side first. We are getting a bit of steam leaking through to the other side through the lubricator pipes, I think, so I need to blank off those as well when I next test. Okay, so we've got the timing cover off now. I've set the Loco piston to be at front dead centre as far as I can gauge it. If we look at the front face of the valve, according to the timing instructions, we should just have the lead amount, which is quite small. It should be about 1/8 thou. And as you can see, that's quite a bit more than 1/8 thou there. So it's possible we need to move this valve that way. Okay, so now we're at rear dead centre, so you can see all of the piston rods exposed, and none of the port is open at all. So we definitely need to move this valve forward until we get equal amounts on each side. So after quite a lot of faffing about, I've managed to get the right hand side running in forward and reverse gear. This is forward gear. It's reasonably smooth, and this is reverse gear. It's running a bit better, if anything. So the method we're using for setting the valves, what we're going to do is we move the gear selector to the mid gear position. So that's basically like a neutral. So that's forward, that's reverse, and then this is the mid gear. So we're going to put it in the mid gear position, and then the valves should barely move at all, and they should basically, the valve should be central between the two ports. So that's what we're going to check next. Okay, so we're in mid gear, and it's not particularly easy to see, but the port here is wide open, and we're at rear dead centre at the moment. So that suggests to me that we need to move this valve back quite a bit. So I'll do that and then bring you back. Just moving it to front dead centre now. Okay, which is about there. And I'll bring you over. Unfortunately, there's quite a big gap here as well now, so that's not great. Okay, so I think I've got equal slots on both sides. That's rear dead centre. Let's move it to front dead centre. Which is about there. So it's just cracking on each side. So I think that's as good as we're going to get it. So I'll put the cover back on, and then I'll fire up the compressor, and we'll see how it runs on compressed air. Not as good as the right hand side, but it does run in forward and reverse now, so I think until I address the wear in the valve gear, which I think is mainly the adjustment of here, I think that's as good as it's going to get at the moment. So I'm going to reattach the right hand cylinder, and we'll see how we get on. gear. And that's reverse gear, so a bit lumpier in reverse. So just to recap, this Loco wouldn't run in reverse at all, and it was very lumpy in forward. So now it will run in forward and reverse. But what I'd like to do next really is run it on steam, which I might not get a chance to do for a month or so. That technique of centralising the valve when in mid-gear can be used on wall shirts, I know, as well, possibly for Stevenson's link gearing as well. Gives you a good starting point anyway. So like, share, subscribe. Please leave a comment. It's always interesting to hear from you. Perhaps you've got different ways of doing this. So yeah, we'll see you in the next one.